Hey YouTube, welcome back. My name is Camille Austin. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are subscribed, thanks for checking in on your girl. We've missed you. If you've clicked on today's video, then you already know that we are going to be discussing my experience at the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Open Casting held in Miami a couple weeks ago. I had the best time overall. But before we go on, I'm gonna need you to smash that subscribe button and, just come and enjoy the family. We're all here for a good time, not a long time. So try not to take shit too seriously and enjoy yourself. Let's start with day one, because I'll start with the tippy top. Like what happened when I got there. I got to Miami Thursday night. The casting starts at 8 a.m. on Friday, but the line starts at 5. Okay? So I get to Miami, but I actually ended up getting there at 5:30. At this point, the line had already started to wrap around the building. So that was fun. Also, let me also paint the picture. It was torrential downpour, just like, grrr, grrr. And I was thinking in this moment, thank God I wore my natural hair. So this full glammed out Shira look you have going on right now, that's not how I rolled up to a modeling casting. Not my first go around with it, I'll be honest, but just something that I knew better than to do. So got there, I got hopped in line with some really cool girls. I will tag all the Instagrams of all the models that I met down below, just because I feel like, empowered women empower women, so why not? I will tag their Instagram handles down below so you can follow them. And so back to the line, I met them, and while I'm standing in line, we were there for a little while. We were standing under this pavilion lobby area where it was covered from the rain, and we were confused on where the line actually started. And we remember hopping in line because we thought we were in the right spot. And these girls were like, "Excuse me, the line starts over there," and it was all the way around. And we were just oh, we were waiting for an hour in the wrong spot. So by the time we actually got in line, we were definitely wrapped at that point. And so the line starts to move at around 7:45. I've been there now since 5:30. It did not stop raining until about 8 o'clock. And I did not actually get inside until about 10 a.m. Okay, and as girls are leaving, they're coming out and, oh, what the hell? They're coming out and spilling the tea. You wait in a room, you're gonna take your Polaroid, fill out a form, and you have 2 minutes to talk to either a model or an editor, and they're gonna ask you why you want to be on Sports Illustrated. And so I won't lie, I had 5 hours to think about what my answer was gonna be, and I still couldn't really come up with a good answer in my mind. So I just was you know what, just gonna fucking wing it, whatever. And I was also, if we get models to talk to, I hope I get Camille Caustic stalking all of their Instagram stories, and I see that all of the models and editors are in different spots of the hotel. Some of them are in hair and makeup before they come and talk to us. Some of them are talking to a separate group that did their own casting beforehand, that made it to a special round to talk to MJ, who's the editor-in-chief of Sports Illustrated, if you didn't know. And I was oh man, if I get to talk to a model, I hope it's Camille Caustic. And I was I know that's really stupid, but we have the same name and we're both former dancers. So I thought, oh man, that'd be so lit. And I was if I don't get her, I hope it's Olivia or Mila. So I get in the room, and finally it's 11:45-ish. Finally in the room, and I see all the models, all these Sports Illustrated models, and it's lights and cameras, and you're just kind of caught off guard by it all. It's not too beaming, but it's kind of oh shit, this is happening. And I walk in, I sit down. At this point, I'm number 355, by the way, my little number. I'll probably throw up a picture. 355. I know when I first got to that line, there were not 355 women in front of me, which makes me think about all the girls that cut and got away with it. But you know what? We're not going to talk about them. It ain't about that. So I get inside, and Camille is there, sitting next to Halima. And if you don't know who any of these women are, I'm just going to throw their pictures up so you guys can see. And the guy that's like kind of hurting all of us, all of the potential models, he's like, okay, you two are going to go over here, you two are going to go over there, and you two are going to go. And I was like, I get to talk to Camille. Oh, fuck. So I am like, manifestation is 100% real. So I spoke it out to existence, and I got what I wanted, and I got to talk to her, and she just basically says, okay, you have 2 minutes. I can run through 2 minutes, no problem. So I'm going to give you the floor. Just tell me a little bit about yourself and why you want to be on Sports Illustrated. And she's like, are you ready? And I gave her all of my Polaroids, my form that I had to fill out, alongside a couple of photos that I've taken in the past that were like for my book, my port. But to be honest, I haven't been in front of a camera in a very long time. So I know I still look the same in those pictures, but I was just like, ooh, okay. I didn't want to show up empty-handed, you know? So not that a portfolio was mandatory. It wasn't. It wasn't mandatory. You did not have to wear a bathing suit. I wore skinny jeans and a crop top and nude heels. Like, it wasn't anything like, I didn't wear anything too crazy or spectacular. Like I said, my hair was unnatural. I had natural makeup on. When I say natural, I mean very little, to be honest. I had concealer. I had 2 types of concealer on, one for under eye, one for skin. I had lip gloss, bronzer. I did a natural, like, fluffy brow and mascara. Because her and I got to talking about the dance industry and things of that nature, and she just, her timer went off, and I saw her go, dink. So anyway, and I was like, oh shoot. I'm doing a happy dance in my head, but also like staying focused. Like, you're in it to win it, Camille. Focus.
Focusing.
So I give her my stuff. I give her a hug. I tell her, you know, you've inspired me. You and Tyra have always, like, you recently, but Tyra has always inspired me to come out today specifically. And I do feel like, you know, when it comes to Black American women, especially the deeper complected you are, the harder it is to get visibility. And, you know, in the modeling industry, we're either having to be super, like, thin, like, athletic, or we're on the plus size side, and I fall in the middle. And I had the worst time trying to find work, and being in another industry that didn't really embrace or rate my standard of beauty at all was just kind of like, it just kind of compounds on itself to a point where you're just like, fuck it, and you just tap out. And unfortunately, it happens to more. I feel guilty about it now, seeing as how if I probably stuck it out, I probably would be a lot further, but there's no telling, honestly, because some people, it works really quickly, and some people it doesn't. And so now I'm just at a point where, like, okay, well, either way, there's still no middle-sized Black women in your publication. And instead of seeing that as a problem, I saw it as an opportunity, because then that meant that there was nobody there that looked like me. We hugged. She said, I'll see you later. And I was like, puzzled by that, and I said, okay, bye, and I, you know, left, and actually was on my way to go get cheesecake. By the way, I left the hotel, I was done by like 12 o'clock, so I started at 5:30. I woke up at 4:20, did my hair, did my makeup, got there around 5:30, 5:20, did not leave until 12 o'clock. No lunch break, no food, no nothing. I had snacks in my bag, thank God, but there was nothing else for me to eat. So I was starving by the time I left. And I then remember going to walk to Sultan's on Collins to go get cheesecake with my mom. And after we already had a rum and coke free at the bar from my hotel. Nice, because it was happy hour, because we're classy. And my phone goes ding, like a text, like a notification comes in, and I see it says like congratulations in all cap, and I'm like, and I just start crying. And she's like, what's wrong with you? Because I was standing 1 minute and I was down on the ground the next. So she's just like, what's wrong? And I hold up my phone, and she starts screaming, and I start crying, and she's almost crying. She goes like, okay, but like, can we still go get the cheesecake? And I was like, yeah. So I did not sleep at all that night because it said that we were going to be meeting MJ, the editor-in-chief, and I was like, yeah, and just to come in natural makeup and all that other stuff, and come with a bathing suit. I get there the next day, there's 60 of us. So they cut down the thousands of girls that did their online submissions, the girls that showed up for the on-site thing that they did back in May, which they said wasn't a casting, but low-key it was a casting. And obviously, like, apparently about 1,000 girls showed up the day of in line with me. And when I left, they were at 782. So I'm thinking to myself, when I left day one, just to back it up, when I left day one and I know I heard her say, I'll talk to you later, I'll see you later. And I thought, oh, that was nice. And then I saw that there was, the count went up to about 700 plus girls. I was like, there's no way she's going to remember who the fuck I am. Fuck that. Like, I'm going to go get me this food. I'm going to go eat and just enjoy my rest of my stay. So, yes, literally the day one, it was up to like 1,000 girls. So they cut it down to 60. I met some really interesting girls. Obviously, all of like the top 17 that you saw was on there, and it was incredible. I think what's really cool about that process, how they did it, was like it was a very much a personality matching situation. They're just really wanting to see like you be yourself, and I feel like there is no secret to it. Like, how did you get picked? How did you make it to day 2? There is no secret. It's so weird to me. Like, I know I heard about it and I asked other girls who had made it, and I was like, what's your advice? She said, just be yourself. And I was like, corny. Like, you know, like, that's whack. And then I had to do it, and I remember thinking to myself, like, I have a better sense of who I am now. So being myself, I think being yourself, as easy and dumb and like whack as it sounds, is probably one of the hardest things you'll have to ever do as a young adult in a world of where people just tend to be really inauthentic and things are just a fakeness is just thrown around you. Facetune, Instagram, all those things like that don't support you being your true self. It makes it even that much harder to be yourself. So while like people are saying just be yourself, and it sounds so easy and so simple, if you don't know who you are, that is going to be the hardest thing you're ever going to do, and you only have 2 minutes to showcase that. So I just want to put that in perspective for people when they're like, just be yourself. It's easy, but it's not, unless if you don't have any idea who you are. And I remember like when I auditioned for America's Next Top Model when I was like 17 years old, going on 18, because I think you had to be at least 18. I didn't back then, and those producers, listen, they're experts. You're not fooling them. So if you give them this cookie cutter ass answer that you think they want to hear, they're gonna read right through you 100%, which is exactly what I did, and I got cut the first time. So this time I knew, like, when I had my 2 minutes, I wanted to tell my truth, whatever it was, no matter how she was going to take it, if it was going to piss her off or not. And let that be that. So lo and behold, I got a text actually to make it the next day. So I'm waiting. And this time all 60 of us are sat in one room, and there's a panel in front of us, and there's MJ right in the middle, boss lady right in the front. And I'm like, ooh. And Yutsa is like, to her, like I think her right or left, I'm not too sure. And then you have all of the other models that are sitting there. So you have like Winnie, and I think they were all kind of like waterfalling in at different times and coming in and out, because I mean it's Miami Swim Week, so there's quite possibly they could have been working. Winnie Harlow was there, Jasmine Sanders aka Golden Barbie was there, Mila de Blasio was there, and I was like, yes! And Olivia Brower was there, and I was like, yes! We got in there, we did a brief Q&A, then they split us up. Some of us went to this confessional side, which is on the other side of the hotel, and then some of us went straight into taking pictures in the bathing suits, which was directed by Yutsa, who, if you don't know, in the photo, like in the fashion industry, is like that fucking dude. Like, he is. And I was just like, oh my God, this is very intimidating, and it's happening very, 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 very fast. So, and you walk in that room, by the way, it's even more lights and definitely more cameras, more crew. It's like, holy shit. And I went, I was one of the first groups to go for taking my picture, and I'll be honest, I didn't deliver my best go. In my mind, in my heart. Like, I don't think my picture was trash, because I wouldn't say that, but it wasn't like my best go. And I know why, and it was because I was, like I mentioned earlier, I was ill practiced in front of the camera. And when you're not practicing, you're not gonna just be able to show up and blow it out of the water. I got in based on personality, 100%. It's some modeling experience, but it was that later half of it, I think, that really kind of kicked me in the ass, if I'm being really honest. Went and did the Q&A. I got to talk to Aly Kaila. She is the beautiful redhead with all of the freckles, and she was a part of the swimsuit casting the first time they did it, and both her and Camille won. And holy crap, she's so much fun, and she's so sweet. There's so many people that I met, so it's getting like hard to like remember it all. And I got to ask a couple of the models some questions, and then I got sent to the confessional. And then in that confessional portion, which is, like I said, was on the other side of the hotel, they have us in a room, and like, it's getting really late in the day, right? Like, it's getting like, we started at 8:30, and I'm thinking it's like almost like 2 or 3 o'clock, and I'm like, and Mila and Olivia Brower walk in, and I'm like, oh, this just keeps getting better. So I got Camille, I got Mila, and Olivia. I'm geeking out. I rose my hand, and I was like, I have a quick question. I was like, what we're about to tape in this confessional, how much of it is going towards the final decision for who's being cut later today? Because at this point, the word's out. They're going to let us know who's top 17 tonight before we leave. So she goes, honestly, like, she didn't want to say almost, but she was like, probably not. So she's like, consider this your opportunity. Why do you want to be here? Why do you want to be on Sports Illustrated? So super glad I asked, because then that would kind of change the like tone of the conversation. And it gave everyone the opportunity to kind of like plead their case, which was nice. And there were some women in that room that had gone through some serious shit. And what's nice about that is that it leaves you not feeling like competitive, at least not in my mind. I didn't feel like I was competing with anyone. It felt like a women's retreat, to be perfectly honest, and it felt very cathartic because all of us were in there sharing our experiences, and a lot of them were similar, some were very different, but we were all going through something that has hurt us or is hurting us, and it was just really nice. And I got to do my confessional. And I'll add, I know I skipped this. During my shoot with Yutsai, he was awesome. He gave me good criticism. I did get to talk to MJ. MJ chose all of our pictures from our frames that he took. And she would look at your frames and go, okay, that one printed off. And it was like, I was like, are you sure? She's like, Camille, no, this you look beautiful. You did a great job. And I was like, MJ just told me I was beautiful and I did a great job. I'm just gonna trust her. This woman knows what the fuck she's doing. I'm not gonna argue with her. And they offered suits. They did give us suits to like change into. I kept the one I had on. Next time I definitely will be trying one of theirs though, to be perfectly honest, if that's still a thing. Definitely will be doing that. So yeah, that's what happened with Yutsai in the shoot, because I know I skipped those two parts. Then it was time for deliberation. Dun, dun, dun. They kick us all out. We did more Q&A, more working the room stuff. They kick us all out, all 60 of us. It's about 4 o'clock. And they leave us in. They couldn't tell us like, hey, y'all, just go enjoy the city and be back by 6. Because I guess there wasn't any telling how long it was going to take them. And they're of course like snapping and Instagramming like the deliberation table, all 60 photos, and you're just kind of like, oh my god. So we're watching their Snapchat stories like, or Instagram stories, like as if it's gonna fucking help us at all, like a bunch of idiots, but we're fiends at this point. So we're waiting in the hallway for almost 2.5 hours. I'm talking to some more of the girls, and this one particular honey bun that I met, that she is going to get a special shout out, even though like MJ gave her already a special shout out. I don't care. Her name is DJ. She's young. She's younger than me. She's one of the, I want to say one of the youngest ones there. And diagnosed with MS as a former dancer. And like, I felt that deeply, because having no control over your facility has got to be the worst thing, especially when you're used to using it as a way of expressing yourself. And I cried like a big fat fucking baby. So when she told me what was going on, and she was in a wheelchair and she had a cane with her. So it was just one of those things where it's like, damn, I need to get my shit going. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Anyway, got to meet DJ, and she was just a special little bean. So another two lovely ladies I got to meet, Tanaye and Miss Brielle. They were like the two deeper complected models that were walking. One was plus size and one was like this fit, athletic goddess of a woman. And I was just like, oh my God, they're both so beautiful. And like Brielle's portfolio, I got to go through it and I was like, oh my gosh, not only do I want to like be like you and pose like you, I also want to do your makeup at the same time. So again, Instagrams will be down below. Just check them out. They made it to top 16. Like, they both actually got cut last year, and this year they both came back, and this year they both made it further along. And then there was only supposed to be 16 girls, but they actually made an exception for DJ and brought her in. And I was at this point, like, destroyed. My emotions were like all over the place. I wasn't even upset that I didn't get called, because I feel like at the very root of it, I know exactly where I need to be and what I need to work on. And I could choose to be, some models I could tell were really like upset, which I can understand. Like, you're right, you have your right to like your emotions, but it's also like, dude, like, you can be upset that you didn't get picked, or you can just be happy that you got to witness 17 girls' dreams come true. You witnessed a very important part of somebody's life story, and you were a part of it. So what you mad for? Like, just come back next year. And I get it, because when you want something so badly, it can be like so like ugh when you don't get it. But I've gotten so used to rejection at this point, especially when knowing that I feel like I didn't do all of the background consistent legwork to get to like where those girls were. It would have almost felt awkward for me to be there, to be honest. But now that I've had a taste, I had a little sample of what's awaiting for me, I was like, hell no, I'm not losing this opportunity again next year, because I did not properly practice and be consistent with getting in front of the camera and learning my angles. And because with Yutsai, it was very like 10 frames. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, done. Because he had 60 girls to go through. He didn't have time to like break it down for you and tell you what to do. And I feel like that was definitely something I needed to, my confidence in front of the camera needed to be like worked on. So as soon as I got home, I booked like 3 photo shoots. Yeah, I'm getting busy. So I had one this past weekend. I have one this weekend. I'm off the first weekend of August, and then I have another one. I think I have 2 set up in LA, and then another one when I come back in Orlando. So what is that? That's almost 6 photo shoots, and that's taking me all the way till the end of August. And then I have a wedding that I have to do makeup for. So your girl is booked and blessed in a way. And if you're thinking about doing it, if you have the ability, I say go. It's definitely an experience. All of the models were just joy to be around. Every single one of them. All of the people behind the scenes, the cameramen, everybody, everyone was so, so, so nice. And all the models I met on day 2 were all super sweet. And yeah, if you're thinking about doing this, guys, I just say do it. If you have any specific questions, let me know. But that's all I have. I just wanted to make this kind of like a not so serious chat. I was gonna do it in my beauty studio, but to be honest, my Canon camera memory card is full, so couldn't do it. Just decided to use my phone. But like I said, please like, please subscribe, and comment down below if you have any questions. And for right now, sounding off, and you guys have a great day. Bye.